Elasticity and its applications. In this lecture, we are going to go ahead and learn what is elasticity and what are the different applications related to elasticity. So the aim of this chapter is manifold. First of all, to understand what is elasticity, to understand what are the issues that we can, have, and what are the issues that elasticity can resolve, to understand what is price elasticity of demand, how is the price elasticity of demand helping us to determine the slope of the demand curve, to understand how is it related to revenue and expenditure, to understand what is the price elasticity of supply, to understand how is it related to the supply curve. That's also what we have to understand. And finally, to go ahead and understand what is income and cross price elasticity. All of this is basically the ask of this chapter. Let's begin with creating a scenario. Let's say that you want to go ahead and design a website for local business. Let's say that you're charged $200 per website, and currently you are selling 12 websites per month. Supposedly, your cost is increasing, so you also want to increase the price. You don't want to charge 200. Now you want to charge 250. Of course, if you increase the price from 200 to 250, there is going to be a decrease in the number of websites that you will sell. But how many decrease? How much would it decrease by? When you try and answer questions like this, by how much will there be a decrease in the number of websites? When you raise the price, this is finding in a way elasticity. How much will you decrease your revenue? Or if you increase your price, will your revenue actually start increasing? This is where we are talking about elasticity. Let's understand from the very basic what is elasticity. Elasticity basically is a measurement. What does elasticity tells? It tells how one variable responds to change in the other variable. So if I say elasticity of y with respect to x will be percentage change in y upon percentage change in x. You can replace this y and x with literally anything that you want. Now, let's say that I want to find out elasticity of quantity demanded or quantity supplied with respect to price. I can do that also. When I try and I do that, that is known as price elasticity of demand. What is price elasticity of demand? The price elasticity of demand basically goes ahead and tells us how does the quantity demanded change when there is a change in the price. This is known as price elasticity of demand. Okay. So we are basically going ahead and asking the question, what is the percentage change in quantity demanded due to the percentage change in price? When we try and find this, that is known as the price elasticity of demand. So the price elasticity of demand measures how much quantity demanded responds to the change in price. Loosely speaking, it measures the price sensitivity of buyer's demand. So how is the buyer's demand getting affected due to the price? When you try and measure that, that is known as price elasticity of demand. Let's go ahead. Now, if I have to find out the price elasticity of demand, let's see what is happening here. So suppose I tell you that my price is increasing by 10%, and let me tell you that the quantity is decreasing by 15%. So the elasticity, price elasticity of demand will be percentage change in quantity demanded. Quantity is decreasing by 15%, so minus this. I don't even need a percentage. I'll just write minus 15. And price is increasing by 10. So plus 10. And this is going to be minus 1.5. So this is my price elasticity of demand. This is telling me what is the percentage change in quantity demanded due to percentage change in price. Now, let us go ahead and let us think of the reverse direction. See, whenever we find the relationship between price and quantity demanded for normal goods, the relationship is always inverse, isn't it? Due to the law of demand. So therefore, you will always see that for normal goods, the price elasticity of demand is always negative. When one decreases, the other is, it's because the other has increased. Otherwise, when you go from point A to B, it's the other way. When the price is decreasing, the quantity is increasing. So even if you reverse, they will move in opposite direction. So along the demand curve, price and quantity will always move in opposite direction. And because they will move in opposite direction, the price elasticity will be negative. Now, mostly because we are interested, we know negative sign is due to law of demand, but mostly because we are interested in only understanding the magnitude, we can always refer to this in absolute value. So we can always ask the question, what is the amount of elasticity? We are not interested in the negative sign. We are just interested in understanding the magnitude. Calculating percentage changes. Now, if you ask me, how will I find percentage change? See, percentage change is always found out by new value minus old value upon old value into 100. Please remember this, new value minus old value upon old value into 100. Alternatively, you can say end value minus start value upon start value into 100. This is how you can find percentage change. So now you have to first think whether you're going from A to B or B to A. Think that first. Okay. So let's say that I am going from A to B. So A is my starting point. And from A, I am going to B. So B is my end point. At the starting point, my price is 200 and my quantity is 12. At the end point, my price is 250 and my quantity is 8. So what is the percentage change in price? It is new point minus starting point upon starting point into 100, which will be 250 minus 200 upon 200 into 100, which will be 50 by 2, which will be 25. Right? So you have got 25% here. Similarly, if I ask you what will be the percentage change in quantity, let's find that also first. So it will be 8 minus 12 upon initial price was 12, initial quantity was 12 into 100 minus 4 by 12 into 100. So this will be 3, this will be minus 33%. And now what will be elasticity of demand with respect to price? Percentage change in quantity demanded due to, why is quantity changing? It is changing because of price. So due to percentage change in price, the percentage change in quantity demanded is minus 33%. The percentage change in price is 25%. So this will be your final answer. Now, see, the answer will differ if you change your start and end point. So here your elasticity is 33 by 25, which is 1.33. But if I change my start and end point, which means suppose I take my starting point as B So supposedly I tell you that initial price was 250, initial quantity was 8, and A is my end point. New price is price has decreased and quantity has increased, then the entire answer will change. So percentage change in price will be 200 minus 250 upon initial price into 100. So minus 50 upon 50 into 100 upon 250 into 100. So this will be 5. So this will be minus 20. And the percentage change in quantity will be, so the final quantity now is 12 and the initial is 8. So 12 minus 8 upon 8 into 100. So 4 by 8 into 100. This will be 50. And the elasticity will be percentage change in quantity demanded due to percentage change in price. So this will be 50 upon minus 20, which will be minus 2.5. Is this fine? So what we have got is that the elasticity is going to be 2.5. So see here, when you go from point B to A, when B is your initial point, the elasticity is 2.5. But when you go from A to B, A is your initial point, the elasticity is 1.33. Now, this is the first method. In this method, the problem that we are facing is that when we change the initial or the final point, the elasticity value changes. So there is an alternative to this. We can instead go ahead and use something which is known as a midpoint method. A midpoint method is basically used to understand the elasticity such that the elasticity does not change from one point to another. So how do we find elasticity in that case? To find elasticity, we need percentage change, right? So in any variable x, we find the percentage change by final point minus initial point upon the average of the 2 points into 100. When we do this, we are basically in the base not considering point A or point B. We are taking average of those 2 points. So whether you go from A to B or B to A, the answer remains the same. So in the midpoint method, because in the base, you're taking the average of the point, the final answer also remains the same. It does not matter anymore what is your start point and what is your end point. You will always get the same answer anyways. So it does not matter which direction you are trying to go in. Now again, we will take this, and now what we will do is we will find the midpoint. So the midpoint of the quantity will be 8 plus 12 by 2, which will be 20 by 2, which will be 10. And the midpoint of the price will be 225, isn't it? 200 plus 250 by 2. So this will be 450 by 2, which will be 225, right? So while taking the base, I will take 225 here. And while taking the base, I will take 10 there. I will take 10 here. Okay. So now if I do this, I will get minus 50 by 225. Right? And here I will get I will get 4 by. So this will become 40. Okay. And if you solve this, what will you get? This will be 5,000 divided by 225. So you will get 22.23. And the answer would be percentage change in quantity demanded, which will be 40 by 22.23. So this will be 1.79 or 1.80. So please understand, Now, whether you go from point A to point B, you will always take average, 225 here. Here also you will take the average, which will be 10. So irrespective of whether you go from point A to B or B to A, instead of taking start value, which differed, when B was the starting point, you were taking B. When A was the starting point, you were taking A. Now you will go ahead and take the average value. So irrespective whether you go from A to B or B to A, the base would be 225 here, average of 250 and 200, and 10 here, average of 12 and 8. So the answer would be 1.8 in this case. Of course, we are writing this in absolute values. Otherwise, it is minus 1.8. So this method helps us eliminate the problem of which point we begin from. Quickly, I want you to do this activity. Use this information to calculate the price elasticity of demand. Quickly do this. So, this is your price, and then this is becoming your price quantity combination. Find the price elasticity. So you can use the midpoint method. So your initial price can be 70. Your final price can be 90. Your initial quantity can be 5,000. Your final price quantity can be 3,000. Okay. So change in quantity will be 5,000 minus 3,000. Here it's taking the opposite. That is why. So up to you. It will not matter, right? So you can take this as P1 Q1 and this as P0 Q0. So change in quantity will be Q1 minus Q0, which will be 2,000. And average of quantity will be 5,000 plus 3,000 by 2, which will be 4,000. So percentage change in quantity demanded will be change in quantity upon average into 100. So this will be 50. Similarly, percentage change in price will be change in price 70 minus 90. Again, this is just taking like this because they are giving answer in absolute values upon the average price into 100. So it will be 25%. And then the price elasticity is simply going to be the percentage change in quantity demanded upon the percentage change in price. So that is going to give you the answer as 2. Ideally, again reminding, you will get minus 2, but we are giving the answer in absolute value. So therefore, we are giving 2. So this is how we can go ahead and find the price elasticity. We have learned 2 methods. One is when the answer differs. The second is the midpoint method where the answer remains the same. Okay, thank you.